bright and early Wednesday morning, heading to Tel Aviv, back-to-back meetings all day. Then this evening, or I should say this afternoon, early afternoon, I-24 News to talk about the latest tech news, which is now the Apple News, talking all about iOS 11, the iPhoneX, and the new Apple Watch 3. It's going to be a very Apple segment today, and a great day. Here we go. So I made it to Tel Aviv today, and I've shown you some pretty awesome parking spots that I've gotten in the past. But today's a whole new level. I'm not sure if the handicap is for the parking spot in front of the sign or behind it, but I hope it's for the front. Also, I apologize. My lens keeps fogging up because it is super duper humid here and freezing in my car. So every time I leave my car, it fogs up. But anyway, of all legendary parking spots today, it's got to win some kind of award. So, spontaneous meetings. I love spontaneous meetings. Who are you?
So, I'm Tamir Miri.
How long have we been connected, me and you?
I think like 3 or 4 years.
I think more
connected through Bobby Rosenstein.
Is that how we originally connected?
I think so. Well, Bobby is my relative. I don't know if you know this.
So I know that, you know how I know he's your relative? Because you call him Bobby. So Bob Rosenstein, he is going to literally ask me to take this video down from YouTube and edit this part out, but I'm not going to, Bob. Bob Rosenstein, and I use this word maybe a little too lightly, but in his case, I genuinely mean this, is a legend. Bob Rosenstein was the founder of Answers.com. He took the company public, sold it for $127 million, I believe.
Yep.
He's a serial entrepreneur. You know, he's young-spirited. I wouldn't say he's young in years, and yet he doesn't stop. He doesn't rest. He built another company, Curio. I'm sure he's doing more stuff now. I love the guy. It's been way too long since I caught up with him. I don't think there's a person on planet Earth that doesn't love Bob Rosenstein.
I agree.
Literally just the nicest person on the planet. So what do you do?
So I work for JJDC, which is the venture arm of Johnson & Johnson.
Small little company.
Small company, the biggest healthcare company in the world. I work with Zev Zahavi, who's a VP of Venture Investments here in Israel, together with a colleague in London.
Why is Johnson & Johnson investing in Israel?
So we're investing in Israel because there is tons of cool and interesting technology here, very good entrepreneurs coming from either the military, like Shmona Matayim, or other...
Shmona Matayim, just so you don't know, I've spoken about this in the past, 8200, it's the technological unit in the Army, and many, I would say most entrepreneurs that I meet on a daily basis, it's kind of like the opening sentence. I started in Shmona Matayim, 8200, like that's, like if you didn't go to 8200, like what's wrong with you? Not really, but it's kind of like the default for Israeli entrepreneurs. They went to 8200. Yes, proceed. Sorry.
Yes. So as you mentioned, a lot of the entrepreneurs come from there, even though it's not a very life science focused unit.
Right.
A lot of those engineers and smart people actually made the move to the life science field in the last few years because of big data and other technological advancements. So pretty good engineers here as well, due to the Technion and Tel Aviv University. And there's a lot of good tech. Many exits came from the life science industry in the last few years, mainly in medical devices, but this year as well we had two very big exits in the pharma world. Kite Pharma was bought for $12 billion, and
just now, right?
Yeah, just like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Neuroderm was bought by Mitsubishi Tanabe for like a $1.1 billion.
It's funny because like in the tech world, I mean tech, billion-dollar acquisitions, especially in Israel, are pretty rare, I would say, and most acquisitions are in the hundreds of millions, if that. But in the pharma world, I feel like they're at least $1 billion. Because I mean, this is hardcore stuff. I would imagine, it's still rare, but the acquisitions that do happen are in the billions. That's kind of cool.
And R&D is much more expensive usually.
Right. And you go through a lot more with FDA, and it's a whole different
regulatory.
I mean, I can release an app, put it on the App Store, and we're done, right? FDA, you go through years and years of. Anyway, so give me your background a little bit.
So I studied biomedical engineering and chemistry in Tel Aviv University.
So you're a brainy.
Okay. And then I just completed my MBA at the IDC in Herzliya a couple of months ago.
IDC, I would say, is like the Israeli equivalent of maybe MIT.
No? Maybe from an MBA perspective.
I mean, it's the top.
It's a very business-oriented.
It's a top dog faculty, kind of educational or whatever. And I've spoken there many times. Amazing place, beautiful place, I might add. But anyway, okay, go on.
And I'm actually gonna be a teacher's assistant there probably next year, as they're opening an MBA program for healthcare entrepreneurs. So that's another thing I'm gonna try and do.
And so much time on your hands.
Too much time, actually. And so this is my background. I've been with J&J for 4 years now.
Wow.
We have plenty of portfolio companies here in Israel. Actually, about 10% of our global portfolio companies, including the US, Asia, and Europe, are actually located in Israel.
So I'm going to ask you a funny question. Johnson & Johnson as a company, like what are your, do you know the market cap? Like how?
About $350 billion.
$350 billion company.
Yeah.
You know what I think of when I think of Johnson & Johnson? Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Baby powder.
That's true.
What's like their main revenue streams?
So I'd say our revenue in the last few years has gone anywhere between 75 to 80 billion dollars.
Wow.
About actually 15 to 20% of it come from our consumer group, which is the baby products, Listerine, Neutrogena, Band-Aid, all the various brands that you know in the US and Israel and Europe as well.
Listerine, baby. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I love this stuff.
But actually the rest of the about 80% comes...
You get me good deals on this stuff? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I could be a Listerine influencer. I can blog about Listerine.
I'll connect you with our consumer folks. And about 80% of the revenue actually comes from the farm and the medical device business. So the majority of the revenue actually comes from a little under the radar activities that we have in a sense, because that's, people know the brands better than the medical device and farm activity.
When was I don't know, I'm putting you on the spot, but do you know when the company was founded?
Sometime around the Civil War, about 1886 or 1890, something like that. So it's a very old company.
So you're not like a startup.
And so it was, originally it was a startup in the 1890s around bandages and wound care. That's how it started because of Civil War.
Is Band-Aid your brand?
Yeah, Band-Aid is a J&J brand.
So like Band-Aid is, from a branding perspective, is like one of those products that is the default word even though it's a brand, right?
Fridge,
iPhone, iPad, Kleenex, right? iPad, like people, I'm telling you, I hear this all the time. Like, oh, is that an iPad? Like I'm looking at a Samsung tablet, or like smartphone is iPhone, a music player, iPod, right? That means you're doing a very, very good job. So by the fact that, obviously you're doing something right. Very cool.
Yeah.
You having a good time?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I have a good boss, good people I love to work with, plenty of good tech here in Israel as well as in Europe. A lot of buzz that we're creating here in Israel across the globe and within the organization.
So you're not only doing investments for Johnson & Johnson, but you're also giving back to the community in a lot of different ways.
Oh yeah, we have a...
you personally.
Oh yeah, I
so
try...
humble.
I tried to give a little from the little time I have left to...
What does that mean?
Well, working with big venture capital...
I thought you meant like little time I have left on planet Earth. I'm like, is there something wrong that I need to know about?
No, God forbid. I started mentoring a few startups on the side as a personal thing I'm trying to do to try and give back from my experience to the community, as you mentioned.
I like it.
So I'm a mentor, an official mentor at the social program for Shmona Matayim, which you have mentioned before, and I'm also starting to mentor a few startups at the Hybrid.
Hybrid, tell me about that.
So Hybrid is a very interesting accelerator in Nazareth, which is basically has a charter to combine either a Jewish entrepreneur and an Arab physician or a CEO, or vice versa.
So correct me if I'm wrong, the requirement to get accepted into the Hybrid Accelerator is that one founder is Jewish, one founder is Arab.
Or like a Arab entrepreneur and a Jewish CEO. So it could be
a joint effort, Jews and Arabs.
Exactly.
I mean, I always say, I've been saying this for a decade. If there's ever going to be peace in this region, the one that's going to make peace is the tech.
I agree.
Is innovation. And I agree. I love what Hybrid's doing. I've spoken there many times, giving them lectures and stuff. I love that. I love the model. I just think it's super cool. And yeah, I mean, it's great that you're giving back. That's the bottom line. It's really cool you're doing that. And you also have, on a personal level, congrats. It's not so new anymore.
Well, yeah.
Since we saw each other last, it is new.
Yeah, so yeah, I have a new baby boy.
What's his name?
His name is Eitan.
Eitan.
Or Ethan for the Americans.
My brother's name. Love it.
It's a great name.
Keep up the good work, man.
Thanks.
And let's not wait like another year till we hang out again.
Yeah, I hope
fun.
so.
And thank you for doing the interview. I know that it's like super duper early in the morning and you're not like Mr. Camera guy, but I kind of like put a gun to his head and made him do this because you don't meet people like this every day. So thank you for that. I appreciate it and good luck with everything, man.
Thanks.
Keep
Good
rocking.
to see you.
Keep rocking. I'm waiting for my next meeting to arrive. Just a few thoughts on the Apple announcements last night. I just wrote a post jokingly on Facebook about what's to be expected after every Apple event. You got the haters who say Apple's doomed, Apple's lost it, Apple's not innovating. Don't buy the new iPhone, it's garbage, it's just a little iteration, it's evolutionary, not revolutionary. You get all the buzz phrases. Then you got the other side of best thing since sliced bread, the most amazing iPhone ever, gotta have it. I'm part of the second camp in this case. The iPhone X looks remarkably sexy, I have to say. It's a really good looking device, and between the wireless charging and the Face ID, it's just something that professionally I feel I need to have. In any case, the reality is though that purely from a marketing perspective, innovation aside, there's no company like Apple out there. Think about the amount of press and the amount of rumors and the amount of talk about Apple in the months leading up to the event, during the event, and after the event, right? Everybody's still talking. And yeah, there are some people that are hating on Apple, there's some people that are fanboying on Apple, but everyone's talking about Apple. The winner here is Apple. And I just find it remarkable how they do this year after year after year. And nobody understands that we're all being played. I don't mean that in a cynical way. I love Apple, but I just think it's hilarious. They just play us. They just work the system so perfectly. In any case, back to the product itself. The iPhone 10 looks remarkable. I think it's interesting how everything leaked. Literally everything leaked, but yeah, it does look like a really innovative device. And I know Samsung, blah, 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 whatever. Don't get me started on Samsung. I'm excited to buy it. I already sold my iPhone 7 Plus, and the second it's available, I shall be acquiring the iPhone 10, 256 gigs, because, well, I take a lot of pictures. Anyway, I just got a message from the ambassador of the United States' wife. I was at the embassy yesterday. Today she wrote me and said that they'd like to invite us tomorrow evening to the ambassador's house for a haramat kosit in Hebrew, which means a toast for the new year, the new Jewish year. So I'm going to be meeting the ambassador of the United States tomorrow evening. That's going to be awesome. Anyway, yeah, Apple, I'm buying the iPhone 10. Everybody else, stop talking about it. You're working for Apple. You're becoming their marketing team. Unless you want to become their marketing team. I don't know. But if you're hating on Apple and you're not an Apple fan, then maybe it's worth stop talking about it. That's all. I'm now heading to meet the founder and CMO of GlassesUSA.com. I believe they are the biggest website for prescription glasses in the US. And they gave me these, actually. Total coincidence. I did not plan that, but I am wearing them today and they did give them to me. So I'm going to meet the founder and CMO to talk about just marketing, business, PR, etc. Amazing, remarkable company. Hopefully I'll get some interviews in, but not 100% sure I will, because we're talking very serious stuff about their marketing, etc. But I'm gonna try. Anyway, after that, heading to I-24 to talk about Apple's event last night. Let's do this. So I made it to Glasses USA. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Noah.
I like these, by the way.
Thank
very funky,
you.
Very funky.
I love them. They look really great on you.
So Noah and I go back, I think probably a year by now. I don't even remember how we originally connected, but she got me these awesome glasses. And her husband, I didn't even realize back then, is like a hot VC in this country, RLF from
Yes.
2B Angels. And Glasses USA is the largest, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
online retailer for prescription glasses in the US.
Amazing. Yes.
Sitting here in Israel.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. How do you explain that?
We're just very good at what we do, and shipping glasses is not a huge cost, and we get what people need, and we're doing it. We're changing the way people are buying glasses.
I love that. You're doing it here from Israel. It's amazing.
We are.
And you don't hide it, but you don't publicize your Israeli company, do you?
No, because we just don't feel like we're about that. We're just about making glasses affordable for everyone,
Love it.
and we sell in 92 countries. But of course, the US is huge, and people there are very evolved.
Remarkable company. Let's see this place.
So this is the finance department, closed doors
Is
here.
that your office?
No, so I moved in office, so we've really grown.
What's your title here?
Marketing, communication, and content director.
So that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. CEO's office. We'll say hello in a little bit.
Okay.
This is the product team.
Shabbos.
Product team.
Hey,
right
product
here.
team, what's up?
Only product team.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I like it. How many people work at this company?
About 180. This is my team. Everyone say hello.
What's up, people?
These are the most creative people in the company. Our
good
wall of
English.
fame.
Hey, what's the Wall of Fame about?
So, like the biggest collaborations that we're proud of, like Hillary Duff, our favorite customers that we love, some
awesome.
appearances
Why am I not on
in
here?
media. We're gonna add you. We're gonna add you.
Wait, I must have asked you this last time. How do you have such good English?
I lived in the States for many years.
okay.
I'm kind of like half and half, I guess. This is my office. I think it's the coolest office.
But it's so hot. How are you not like dying of heat?
No, isn't my air conditioning on?
Oh my god, there's like no oxygen in here, literally.
This is our smart dolphin from
You have
our campaign.
spectacles. Oh, we talked about spectacles. In addition to Noah talking to me about classes, she's also going to teach me how to get into shape. She's like my inspiration on Facebook. She's like running all the time. It's like unbelievable. One day.
So we started off with only this half, and we've grown so much in the past year that we've spread out. So this is our new space, looking good.
Love it.
And this is the whole marketing department. I think we have about 15 people in the marketing team. Google, Facebook, influencers, native advertisements, everything is being done from here. So this is the production team, so everything to do with shipment.
Where are the glasses made?
Some of them we buy, from Exotica, all the name
Right.
brands like Ray-Ban,
Right.
Oakley, Tom Ford. Some of them.
Do you make
we
your own
buy
glasses,
ourselves. Yeah, some of them we do make, and of course we manufacture them in China, like everyone else. We're very dog friendly
I
here.
just scared the dog a little bit.
No, it's okay. This is my favorite place, customer service.
Customer service.
So we're very proud of it. We have like a 24/7 customer service. So no matter what hour you call, someone's always going to answer, and everything is native English.
Super duper cool.
This is another cool area. This is our studio. You can walk in, just watch your step.
Okay. Wow.
These are the coolest
Hey, guys.
people here.
What's up?
They like make everything beautiful. So we bring in all our models for every glasses that we, put on our set. We have models modeling it, like from sides, front, and the glasses themselves. We have like special machines. We put them in, so they scan it.
It's the real deal.
Yeah.
You're not joking around here.
No, we're not joking around.
Amazing.
I am by I-24 News going live on TV in 11 minutes. Talking about iOS 11, Apple Watch 3, and iPhoneX. It is 95 degrees out here. The chances of me getting to the studio, ready to go live, without dripping sweat, none. Made it. Going live in 5 minutes. Talking Apple. Only Apple today.
All right, the latest in tech news, and today it's all about Apple. Hillel Fuld here with the scoop. No surprise, people have been talking about this for weeks, leaks, and blah, 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 but finally the big announcement.
Literally no surprises. You got to hand it to Apple, because even though we knew everything, the drama last night or yesterday was, Apple's just the best at what they do. I don't know if you watched it, but it's really, it's drama. And they were great. It was in the new Steve Jobs Theater, brand new theater, and, I was watching the live feed on Twitter and other platforms. It was really remarkable. It's edge-to-edge screens like we talked about, no bezels. It has Face ID instead of Touch ID, so the entire thing is a screen. If there's no home button, how do you open the phone? You look at it, and then you swipe, and it opens. Again, not something that maybe Samsung hasn't done before, but traditionally Apple does it better.
Yeah.
They're not first, but they do it better.
Yeah, they do it better.
But the iOS 11, the next version of iOS 11, is pretty significant in that, first of all, it has to support all the things we talked about on the iPhone, right? So Face ID and all these swipe gestures and everything that doesn't exist in today's iPhone.
Hillel, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if you could hook me up and get me an insider price, I'll upgrade.
Today was a great day. Tomorrow, I'm going to prove, and then going to the ambassador of the United States of America's house. Something tells me I will not be able to bring this camera into his house, but I'm going to try. See you tomorrow. Check out my view.